Hey gang, it's Mary Ellen. How are you? I'm coming to you from Moonrise Cottage Soul Tarot. Thanks for being here. Aquarius, it looks like something really interesting is going on, at least for some of you. This is a general reading about your life, about love, about your soul circuit and your contract and your life path. Try to put a little bit of everything into the reading so you really have a well-rounded notion about the energies that are affecting you, and if you have a partner, your partner in any given week. So Aquarius, let's jump right in. Interesting things going on here. That's the Queen of Pentacles. In this Celtic Wisdom Tarot deck, she is known as the Queen of Knowledge, and of course, you do need a lot of knowledge to rise to the position of a king. Or, pardon me, a queen. That's interesting. I wonder what's coming in the cards. So they're talking about the kings and the queens, the way they're able to manifest. And this particular queen, because she's the Queen of Pentacles, what she does with her wealth and knowledge is weave together the strings of destiny of her sacred lineage. She attends to her family, of course, and she's looking right into the card. So this is the card that my guides want to speak to you about this as a theme. And this is your energy in the moment in the week. That's the Four of Pentacles. And we see someone who is attending to a person who has been stealing from them. So there's some notion of you needing to stand up for yourself, needing to create security in your life. And when we see the Four of Pentacles in the traditional tarot, we see someone sitting in their seat, in their place, stable in their life, but hanging on hard to their pentacle. So I think you're in a place where you're trying to, because the queen is there to weave together your destiny, that's what you're thinking about while you're sitting there holding on to your pentacle. Well, how do I get more of this? And how do I make my pentacles grow? And do I feel secure? And is there somebody who's doing me wrong? Do I need to protect myself? Sorry about the glare. I'm in a room that's full of windows, so a little bit challenging. So there's something going on in your earthly existence that has something to do with your feelings of security. And in this little picture, we see someone, the knowledge holder, the wisdom holder, with their wand in their hand out saying, hey, you stole from me. I found out about it. I want my stuff back, and stop doing that. It's that kind of a story. So there's some notion within this card about the idea of some kind of insecurity, perhaps discovering something that's been going on that you don't like, and you're standing up for yourself, you're taking your power back, and you're in an internal process trying to figure out how to make yourself feel stable and in control, or how do you get stable and the stability that helps you to feel in control and not fear loss. That's what's going on in your life. So I pre-shuffled the cards. Let's take a look. Look, that's the Eight of Cups. So do you see that? There's that magical vessel. It's about the story associated to this Eight of Cups in this deck. It's about a couple that went on a treasure hunt, and of course, often we're talking about love, to find some treasure that was in this castle filled with gold and rubies and every kind of human trinket that you could imagine that has any value assigned to it. So if you can find this magic vessel, you're wealthy beyond your wildest imagination. And so if you apply that idea to love, that's what most people are looking for. Some container for their desire to have love and to have it fill up their life and see the water flowing through. So this woman is transforming. She's dressed in purple. She's looking at the flow of life. She really wants to be unstuck from this so she can get back to her life. And the man is he's dressed in green. So he's involved in an internal process. But they're both stuck and they're shocked and they don't know what to do and they want to get out of this situation. So that's the first step in your human existence. If that's the prophecy or the notion, look, holy cow, look at that. That's the Eight of Swords. And, in this deck, it's about how you get awakened. How do you step out of this feeling of being bound by this mystical rope? So it's interesting how this is coming out. Someplace in your life, and clearly it might be love, we have two eights in this reading already. So I want to stop here and take a look at these cards. The prophecy cards that came out, the first one for you is intimacy. Check this out. And then, so this is from the Journey of Love, from the Mystical Shaman Oracle, the Beauty Way. That is what you're thinking about. And you're thinking about it in the widest terms in your life, kind of like Spirit was saying. It's just why the cards are coming out. You are trying to rise into some kind of ascension and transformation through the challenges that you're having. I think you're well aware of them. And as it applies to you, this is your desire. As it applies to your love life, you want intimacy. So there's something going on, I think, where you feel a lack. And it's causing you to have this discussion with yourself about what it would take to ascend out of this. And how do you free yourself from this anxiety that comes to you from not feeling stable or feeling, a little bit of lack or fear of lack? Yeah, look, that's the Ten of Wands. So Aquarius, some of you are really going through a massive transformation. It's being initiated this week. And, we just came past the Scorpio new moon. And this kind of thing's been coming out in various ways for almost everybody. So this is the energy that attends to your particular pathway. So the quest of skill, the Ten of Wands. Basically, the message is, yes, you are in a massive rebirth process. You're feeling overwhelmed. That's what the leaves are about. But look, you've got wisdom. That's the salmon of wisdom, the indicator of Piscean energy, universal consciousness. And that we see the wisdom animal. So go check out Raven and Eagle and Owl and the stag or the elk. So elk is an indication of having stamina for the long journey. And these other bird indicators are about sacred messaging. Eagle has long vision. They can soar effortlessly. They're known to be of the celestial realm. Raven has the ability to see into the mystical. And if it's a crow sitting there, it's a little hard to tell. That's about the sacred laws of the universe. And we know the owl used to sit on Athena's shoulder and whisper mystical truths into her ear. So while you're putting this, you're releasing yourself. You're realizing you need to walk forward in your life in order to release yourself from anxiety. There's something you have to let go of because it's this thing, whatever you're holding on to. It could be a job. You might have a really horrible, abusive, dysfunctional boss, or it might not be for you, and you want to change. You haven't made the leap yet. So you're feeling the anxiety. Sorry, put this in the wrong place. But you're going to make the decision because you want your life back. Whatever this situation is about, you're just kind of done with it. So you're going to take the steps that bring you to rectification. Let's see what's next. Yeah, look. Aquarius, go straight forward. That's the World card. In this deck, it's the Perfecter of Energy. And when you release yourself, you're going to literally it's going to feel like a Kundalini awakening. Look at that. The Perfecter of Energy. Right? So when you take the steps that you need to take to put your life in order, you're just going to feel this exalted. And that is the law of attraction. You're going to then attract to yourself what you need and what you want, and you're going to turn sacred destiny. See the swastikas? That's about sacred power. A sacred source of power, often associated with the sacred feminine. That symbol is like 12 or 13,000 years old. It's been found all over the earth in all of these sacred places. So this is why Queen of Pentacles is here weaving together the strings of your destiny. From the place that you're in, you are being given a divine blessing to help you free yourself, come past the anxiety, drop the heavy burden of the situation, and you literally are free, and it's going to bring to you an enormous amount of happiness. And look at that. That's destiny turning. That's you recapturing your vibration. It's an adventure. This is the Seven of Cups. So when you free yourself from this, whatever it is, you are going to literally, let's see, hang on. I got my makeshift studio here. Got to move things around a little bit. So what's going to happen is you're going to bring to yourself an enormous amount of choice, which is what you need when you come past anything like this. You'll have the ability. That's your beauty way, okay? So, Yep, think about it, make your plan, go forward in your own life. Look, that's the Hierophant. Okay, you're going to come into a lot of sacred energy. So these cards at the top of my reading, it is about the circuit of your soul and what you're trying to work through with your earthly challenges. So you're coming into sacred energy, freeing yourself perhaps from the trap of human anxiety, if you will, to go on an adventure, to create choice for yourself by walking away from that which doesn't serve you. My guides are talking in the background about that which you do not serve. There's something about this you really don't want in your life, and you don't feel good about yourself while you're serving this false master on some level. So, again, could be a job. My guides just said could be a marriage, could be a relationship, could be the place where you live, could be your housemate. You know, it just think as widely as you can. You'll know how to take this message. So, this is your beauty way, being given a gift. So part of what's happening with this intimacy, you have to get more intimate with yourself. Okay? Some of you, I know we've all been through this. I've had to walk away from jobs, from situations, from certain kinds of housing that didn't suit me anymore, etc. So in general, you're being encouraged to walk your beauty way. And look at this. It's fabulous. Thank you, Spirit. Another 8. 8 of Pentacles. What's going to happen when you go through this transition is that you're going to come into mastery. But first, it's interesting. You see, look at these 2 cauldrons. Actually, there are 3. You see how this reading is shaping up? So you are being given great healing. You're being given an opportunity because of the new moon to take a new pathway. And it just leap in a sense. So this is a story of magical, mystical healing and massive transformation. At the end of the story, it's about being reborn as one of the greatest wisdom holders that ever existed within the land at the time these mythical stories came forward. So it is about someone who had to shapeshift a lot and run from someone who they thought was going to be angry. So this is a story about somebody who accidentally got some of a sacred spell cast, a sacred brew that was simmering, and the fire burned over, or the pot burned over. Someone reached out, the person who was minding it got some of the brew splashed on his hands, and of course the natural human response is stick your fingers in your mouth because it's hot. And when that happened, this whole journey came forward. It was very shocking. It was not anticipated. It was not intended to work out that way, but it was destiny. So the person eventually goes through a rebirth process, much like this. And you see how this is the starting point? The Queen of Pentacles here, weaving together your destiny to help you stand up for yourself. And in the end of the equation, you have a rebirth process, and you become, my guides are saying, you then are invested with the full power of your wisdom. And in that moment, then you can make a choice. That's the 2 of Swords. So, see the eagle here? See that? And the outcome card? You are hand in hand with the universe. Deep inside, consulting with the spirit guides to choose your pathway. And it's not about not being able to decide. It's about being in the process of decision in a very sacred way. So I love that. Thank you, Spirit. Let's check out your partner. Also interesting things going on here. Look, this person has, from the journey of love, the breaking. See that? And then Holy Mountain. So some of you are definitely leaving a relationship. And what my guys have been talking about is some of you are, and they're talking about this more and more, and I think it's because we've got Pluto and Saturn and all these things going on, and we just had this Scorpio new moon all about death, rebirth, new pathways, powerful, okay? So for the 2 of you, your partner's going to Holy Mountain, okay? They are experiencing a breaking. It's about what happens when you break up on the inside, and you're going through a very similar thing. Because we have intimacy here in Beauty Way, I think many of you If you are not walking away from a relationship, you are breaking the binds. Okay, my guides are talking about being bound. Okay, so yeah, like that, being bound by anxiety. Some of you are working together, and you're looking at each other and saying, you know what, honey, let's change this because it's not making us happy. Let's figure out the patterns within the relationship that do not serve us, and let's bring it into the spiritual realm and go on our wisdom quest and drop the burdens so we can perfect the energy within the relationship and regain our choices and our vibration. Do you see how the Hierophant is playing the harp and looking right in to this young fellow, also playing some sort of a harp? So sacred, you're aligning yourself on a soul level, Aquarius, with your energy, with the sacred energy of the universe. And that is what brings you into this wisdom holder. Okay, my guys are talking about possession, having possession of the wisdom holder mantle. Thank you, Spirit. So you're going through it together, many of you. If you're going forward together, okay. So your partner also taking a trek up to Holy Mountain, a sacred quest, because they are breaking apart on the inside. They're being cracked open by the universe in order to have a very similar kind of process. So, it's interesting. We see the breaking, we see Holy Mountain, indications of earth and air and water. So there's the death process your partner's going through, looking straight into the Hermit. So your partner is utilizing all of the elements of the universe, of this planet, to do their breaking and reforming, because the goal is to take this process to Holy Mountain, if you will, allow it to happen. And look, I was shuffling the deck. We're just going to pull them off one by one. There's the Tower. Okay? Death and rebirth, the Tower. Look at that. You want to talk about sacred mirrors? Look, Eight of Swords. That's what that card is. So you're going through a transformation. Many of you are going through it together. Okay, your partner's going deep inside this death and rebirth. This is not the Tower card. That's the Eight of Pentacles. That's the moment when you get mastery. So interesting. Look, your partner is transforming themselves when they walk up Holy Mountain with their brokenness, with their fears, with what the universe is shredding them apart for. This is how they come back together. King of Pentacles, and they're looking at you, okay? They're looking in that direction. I really like it. And as the King of Pentacles, when they get themselves steady again, there we have the Six of Pentacles coming into balance with themselves. Okay, my guides are talking about as a student, like an initiate of sacred knowledge, because this is about the universe or some benefactor helping someone who feels lack come into balance by giving them some assistance, right? Some people say this card means it's a lack of justice, a lack of balance. I disagree with that because we see someone being given some assistance. So this King of Pentacles is asking the universe, kind of on their knees, just saying, all right, I'm coming through the shift and change. I'm regaining myself, but I think this person is reviewing the process that they went through, in which they went to the temple and asked the guides and the benefactors, can you please help me figure out the plan? See how they're shining a light on the plan? They're having a discussion. There's a monk there and someone who probably is a wealthy person, a benefactor of the temple. So aligned with the King of Pentacles, that's the process the King of Pentacles is going through. I like it because they come very rapidly to stability, and it's because this is their goal. This is what they want in the relationship. So what we have here is a partnership. For those of you who are in a partnership that endures this massive shift and change, it's because you do the work. And it's not easy, and you do want the intimacy, but you have to break apart. Each of you are in your own way. So I would say support each other, okay? Go get your therapy, go get your zero balancing, all the ways that you can to center and balance, including prayer and meditation and asking the universe and, however you resonate with that kind of healing. But both of you have to go deep inside. You have to find the place of balance so that you can release the fears, walk into your future, put the burdens down, perfect your energy, and create choices in your life that are in alignment with the universe. That's what this is about. Literally, you have to first come to this place where you have changed your world. This is the world card, remember. Then you come into balance with the sacred realm, and then you transform into a wisdom holder. You go to the Great Spirit and you say, okay, what do we do? And then the adventure's on. So I love this story. I know it's hard. Been there, done that. We all have. But we're coming into a time, I talk about quantum partnerships, and people talk about soulmate and twin flame. That's the work of that kind of a relationship. That's the work that you have to go through. You have to be willing to submit to. Thank you, Spirit. If you want to engage in that kind of sacred partnership. Yeah. Okay, that's perfect. Thank you, Spirit. So, take heart. Okay, take heart. If you're on a spiritual path, you're wise enough to know that these things are going to come to you, and it is part of the gift you're being given. So I like it. I'm going to put this right there with the Eight of Pentacles, this notion of working so hard through something so harrowing that you become a master in your own life. And then you join together with the spirit realm, make some decisions about going forward. So I'm looking forward to next week. Stop back next week. Let's see what happens. All right, so this is the rune of protection. It happens to be on page 111. Thank you, Spirit. My guys are saying, don't worry, you're going to get there. So this is the rune Algiz. It is about protection. It is symbolized by sedge grass or rushes, and it symbolizes the elk. See that? Thank you, Spirit. This is about control of the emotions. This is what is at issue in this moment. During times of intense transition, shifts in life course, and accelerated self-change, it is important not to collapse yourself into your emotions, either the highs or the lows. New opportunities and challenges are typical of this room, and with them may come trespasses and unwanted influences. Algae serves as a mirror for the spiritual warrior. Hang on 1 second, just having a small chat with somebody. You're welcome. We'll chat later.
I'm sorry for all the trouble.
No, don't worry. Okay, that was my wonderful hostess. Here in New Mexico, I'm staying in a beautiful retreat center, and just blessed with a lovely individual to interact with. So back to this. So what's going on when you look at this display? What you're actually seeing is the pathway of the sacred warrior. One indication, one mirror image of what it means, because the sacred warrior is always the greatest battle is with the self. So that's what the guides are trying to help you understand, those of you with whom this resonates, about this moment with yourself and with your partner. Because if you're bonded and you're committed to somebody, you're going through it together. All of us who've been there in that kind of a bonded, committed relationship, we know part of the journey is shifting and changing as individuals and as a couple. So basically, this is here to tell you, take heart, understand that it's a sacred mirror for the shift and change that's meant to go on for you and for your partner. So remain mindful that timely right action and correct conduct are your only true protection. If you find yourself feeling pain, just observe the pain and stay with it. Don't try to pull down the veil and escape from life by denying what is happening. You will progress. Know that that is your protection, and that's it, gang. So sorry for that little bit of interruption. Leave some comments below. Thanks, everybody, for your loving support. If you're new, you may not know, I have stepped down to my own sacred path. Kind of feels a little bit like that for me. I'm going through a lot of shift and change, and I've left Moonrise Cottage to do some, as much as possible, as widely as possible, some travel around the United States and then globally in order to bring my shamanic healing retreat workshops to as many people as I can access, because a lot of people have expressed to me over the last couple of years that they want to come and it's just too far and they can't get there. So I am lovingly asking for support and donations to help defray the cost of my travel, lodging, things like that. If you make a donation, any amount that you provide toward my travel fund will be returned to you as a discount toward a reading or any service that you want. All right, so currently I'm in New Mexico at the Heart and Wings Retreat Center. Check it out online if you come to this area. Definitely come stay here. Azima is the hostess, and this place is just amazing and a wonderful place to stay. So, gang, thanks for listening. Click the like button for me on your way out the door. Goddess willing, I'll see you next week. All right. Thanks, everybody.